Hello, yeah, welcome back to Nigerian Talk Politics. This is where we bring to you political updates and breaking news. Rufai Oseni have come out to blast Bayo Onanuga, the presidential spokesperson, after he made some comments about what Peter Obi said on Tuesday interview. Because according to what Peter Obi said, where he reviewed a lot of things, how the current government is frustrating all his efforts and daily activities, even beyond that, trying everything possible to unalive him. Well, according to what Rufai Oseni said on the Arise Morning Show, he said a lot of things which I would like you to watch from the video. But after watching the video, don't forget to subscribe, like and share. Drop your opinion. Let's go.
Now, this next story triggered a wave of shock and alarm across Nigeria after NDC presidential candidate Peter Obi revealed that he may not even be alive to contest the 2027 elections, alleging that the ruling party and government are systematically targeting the opposition. Peter Obi made these explosive comments during an interview with journalist Chude Jidonwo on Wednesday. Let's take a look.
The way they are going now, Chude.
Yes. So there's a possibility you may not be a candidate based on how...
Not even a candidate. I might not even be alive. I'm telling you. Every single thing I do for a living, this government is frustrating it. Deliberately so. Everything. So there's even possibility if they have opportunity, I will not be alive.
Oh wow, that's a big...
It's an accusation. I know I get frustration every day because you do things that you think they will be normal. It is not normal any longer. They won't come directly and say, oh, we're doing this, but you could see their hand in everything.
So the government is attacking you personally?
They're attacking everybody who is in opposition personally.
Right.
I am being attacked personally.
Right.
Everything, even to provide me with necessary things that I should have been entitled to. Not at all. You're struggling to get it every day. Every day, you're struggling to get it. Little things. I had a case recently at the airport.
Okay.
Where people who work in the airport came and locked my car. And I said, it's me. The person on the side said, he doesn't care. But I said, look at the cars of other people. And you could see them talking to each other. You know, as if, who is this one?
All right, Peter Obi was careful to stop short of a direct accusation, but his comments have sparked a flurry of reactions, with the presidency firing back. In a post on X, presidential spokesman Bayo Onanuga called Peter Obi a pathological liar, dismissing his allegations as propaganda designed to deflect from problems within the NDC. And I'll take Bayo Onanuga's post on X. He wrote, Peter Obi's recent claims of being targeted by the government, citing an incident involving his car at the airport, which by his own account must have resulted from flouting parking regulations, are simply unfounded and misleading. As a pathological and serial liar, Peter Obi is intent on dragging the government into every personal inconvenience he encounters, often resorting to exaggeration and baseless allegations. His claim that he may not be alive for the January 2027 election and that people are being pressured not to invite him to social events is nothing more than a fabricated narrative, a page from his book of lies and propaganda. These claims lack substance and are designed to attract undue sympathy and deflect attention from his credibility deficit and the problems faced by his SPV and his adopted political association, the NDC. It is important to note that Mr. Peter Obi has a substantial interest in Fidelity Bank. The institution continues to thrive as a result of the current administration's robust economic reforms. The government is certainly not targeting the bank. Rather than being haunted by the government, Mr. Obi appears to be grappling with the consequences of his litany of unfounded statements. I mean, he went further to say that the Tinubu administration is not targeting Peter Obi, but you watched that video. I have two questions for Bayo Onanuga. I mean, one, basically, what has the Fidelity Bank shares got to do with this conversation? Is he saying that, you know, it can be true? I mean, those are some of the questions. But Peter Obi made some allegations right there in that video. I mean, it was like a 35-minute interview by Chudeji Donwo there, talking about the fact that he's not even sure if he will be alive by the elections because he feels that he's being targeted. Your thoughts?
All right, on targeting, he makes a very strong allegation and we must not sweep it away. We must take it very seriously. Is he being targeted? Let's take a few facts, you know, some things, let's analyze. If you look at the political parties that Mr. Peter Obi has joined historically, they run into problems the moment he becomes a member of that party, and then when he leaves, magically or miraculously, the problems evaporate and moves on to the next party that he's in. So when with the Labour Party, we then had the factions, we had the Arabambi camp and the others, and then he left and went on to the ADC. And then we started having issues and factions coming up. And then he moved to the NDC, and before we know it, they are becoming deregistered. And so you can understand that there is that question mark around why is it that whenever he presents himself in any political party, for whatever reason, whether or not it is influenced by the government of the day, the party falls into problem. Let's leave that to think. Then, in terms of targeting, let Nigeria not descend to countries on the African continent like Uganda, Algeria, DRC, and the likes, where the opposition voices are silenced. They are put in prison. There are frivolous charges brought against them in order to silence opposition. This is bigger than Mr. Peter Obi. This is about the soul of promoting democracy and democratic principles in the country. And in order for this to happen, the opposition must not be seen or perceived to be under attack or under oppression by the government of the day. For a true democracy, all voices must be allowed to freely be heard, including that of the opposition, and let everyone who presents himself for a contest be free and fair and allow a free level playing field for all. That's all Nigerians are asking for. Right. It could be Peter Obi today, it could be another tomorrow. Right. What we're asking for is strong institutions and ensuring that democratic principles and tenets are there too. That's what we're coming for this morning.
I'll take another reaction on this story and I'll come to you. And this is from former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, who has issued a stern warning to President Tinubu, declaring that absolutely nothing must happen to NDC presidential candidate Peter Obi, and that the safety of every opposition leader is a constitutional obligation and a direct test of Nigeria's democratic credentials. And I'll take another tweet. This is from Son, who wrote, Peter Obi says he might not be alive for 2027 on camera in an interview. A former presidential candidate saying they might not survive the next election. And nobody in power is saying that's a problem. Just we've seen the opposition speak against it. Atiku did. And your thoughts?
Thank you so much. Ayo, with due respect, you said we should not be like countries like Uganda that the silence opposition and put them in prison. Ayo, we've already passed the level of Uganda. Newsflash, have you heard of a certain man called Nasir Rufai that has been incarcerated for how many days now? Over 140, going to 150 days.
He did say on TV that he tapped the phone of the NSA.
You get, he said that he tapped the phone of the NSA.
But was he granted bail and then released and then...
Let me tell you the kind of bail he was granted. That's what we are saying. They deliberately made the bail conditions very stiff, which we all know is all because of politics. Forget all of that, Ayo. They said the bail condition, he has to go and take authorization from the traditional leading council, traditional chiefs council in Kaduna State. You know that's not possible. You know, and those councils said they're not going to give it to him. So whatever offense he has committed, bail is so hard, going to 150 days now for Air Rufai. Reminds you of a certain guy called Tundu Lisu. So Nigeria has passed that level. The question we should ask is that, did Peter Obi say this in the last election? No. How can you explain, Ayo, that Peter Obi moved to NDC on the 3rd of May? Walk with me. On the 5th of May, a certain entity called Peace Something Political Party went to file a case against NDC. And based on that case, they've been deregistered today. As we speak, you know NDC is deregistered. Yes, forget the fact that INEC give them code to be able to upload. They are already deregistered though, as we speak. Like I keep saying, the grand plan is to ensure that ADC and NDC are not on the ballot. And as we keep going with time, these things keep getting clearer. Did all of this happen in the last election? As we even called Buhari and said, oh, we call Buhari all sorts of names. Did you ever hear that there was a rancor like this in the last election?
Only the redesign of the Naira.
It was only the redesign of the Naira. Did you ever hear that there was a rancor like this that Peter Obi was coming out to say? So, see, Bayo Onanuga can respond and say, he's saying this, he's saying that, he's saying this, he's saying that, he should bring proof and evidence. That's between both of them. But it will only you will only be delusional to think that the hand of God is not moving in the political affairs of things. That all of these court cases, the courts are just going to cases for themselves, Abi. It's not people that are filing these cases. All of a sudden, the ADC, 1 week, the register. The second week, NDC, the register. Everything is being done to stifle opposition. All of a sudden, they change electoral law to be able to have enough time to perfect things before the election. All of a sudden, we now have a longer window. Normally, the former electoral law, all this period, we are still thinking of who to be presidential candidate and all of that. All of a sudden, things have just fast-tracked and fast-forward. If I can repeat, it will be a miracle if Atiku Abubakar or Peter Obi finally makes it on the ballot in this election. It will be a big miracle.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Well.